ResortLoop.com is proud to be sponsored by Joffrey's Coffee and Tea Company. Joffrey's now offers coffee subscriptions. You can order a 3, 6, or 12-month subscription. You can choose from 3 collections: the Flavored Coffee Collection, the Roastmasters Collection, or the Disney Signature Coffee Collection. Each collection includes 3 bags per month. With the Joffrey's Coffee subscriptions, never run out of great coffee again. Learn more and order at Joffreys.com.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
We are now passing through the Transportation and Ticket Center on our way to the Polynesian Village Resort Hotel. If you'd like to return to the Transportation and Ticket Center, you may do so by boarding an express monorail at the Magic Kingdom station.
Hey, everybody, thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Scott. This is ResortLoop.com. It's close to Thanksgiving time. Very exciting. You know what time that means. We have to give thanks and to have on the DVC Roundtable.
Woohoo!
Ooh, the crowds are wild. Joining us on the show today for the DVC Roundtable is Miss Rebecca Toon.
You never have to call me twice to the table, Tim.
That's true, especially at Thanksgiving.
Especially at Thanksgiving.
The best holiday with the best side dishes. And also joining us, speaking of the main entree, it's Mr. Brad Coates.
That could be taken so many different ways. So I think it's a positive way, though. Hey,
when I think of the meat in the center of the table, I think of Brad Coates.
Okay. So, but you know what's tough today, though, is that we're missing everybody else. So now we got to reach clear across the table to pass the seconds.
That's true.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
I have a 6-foot fork and serving spoon. I'm ready to go. The future of buffets.
Those grabbers.
Exactly.
Now we know how Tim celebrates Thanksgiving.
Exactly right. Huge portions of food with huge utensils.
We'd like to formally apologize to Tim's wife and maybe send her a fruit basket.
It took us forever to find a dishwasher. I'll just say that. All right. Rebecca, we're going to start us off with our first DVC Roundtable story for this month.
Actually,
no, she's not.
Oh, it was Brad.
For our first story, because
it was Brad.
Tim did not listen during the pre-show.
I
should have interrupted. I should have waited for you to say, I would confer my minutes to the gentleman from the state of New Mexico. Go.
I apologize. I was thinking of turkey and gravy and mashed potatoes. So
That's right. My brain was elsewhere.
Brad, the entree.
I got the first story, but before I do that, I think it'd be good for us to give a shout out to Emily and to and to Mr. Joe Quat. We miss you guys.
We always do.
Emily, we miss you.
Hopefully we can all be together in December.
I can't imagine what on earth is more important than this show.
Yeah, really. Come on.
Exactly.
But we do appreciate Joe not recording while driving, because that would be dangerous.
That's true.
I just want you to know I gave up a free cruise to be here.
Oh, my.
Wait a minute. Are there cruises happening right now? Are you in a boat? Are you in the bathtub?
I may have should have thought that through before I said yes to the offer.
Right, I'm pretty sure you're in your bathtub right now.
Well, first story for the night. It's actually some good news coming out of California.
What? Yay.
2020, Brad, there's no such thing as good news.
I know. It feels like there's nothing good for Disney fans in California. But if you're a DVC person, there's a tiny bit of good news. And that is that DVC, the Disney Vacation Club Villas at Disney's Grand Californian Hotel, actually are reopening up December 6th. So just, I think it's 2 weeks from now. I actually have a friend that's going to be there when they open back up. So I'll report back what she has to say about it. But they did open it up. Now, the hotel itself is not open to the public, and the restaurants are not going to be open. But they are opening up the actual DVC portion of the hotel to DVC members to book on points.
So
my understanding is you
can only stay there if you're a DVC member right now?
Yeah. So that's going to say, for sure, my understanding is you cannot buy on cash there. No rooms. It's only on.
That's fascinating.
Now, I think if you could still have somebody book it for you and stay there. I don't think they're going to control that. I don't think, but I would
Sure. But like
totally
the restaurants and stuff are not open like to the public.
exactly
Okay.
can't get into the hotels any other way other than to use points. So, and but it is great. Finally, a little bit of something
That's
there
right.
for somebody. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm kind of thinking the main reason they're doing it is to try to appease DVC or maybe avoid a lawsuit. They got enough complaints coming out of owners in California. Maybe, I don't know.
California's got it rough right now. That's what I know.
They do.
That's what I know.
That is a tough deal.
Yeah.
But as is the case with the rest of Disneyland Resort and with the few places that are open and like in Disney World, all guests 2 and up must wear a face covering at all times in public areas, except when actively eating, drinking, or stationary away from people, or when you're swimming in the hotel pool. High traffic areas, of course, are going to receive increased cleaning and elevators, escalators, handrails, that kind of stuff. The villas are going to undergo thorough cleaning with specific attention to high touch areas. So much like what they started doing at Disney World, right, when they opened all of their stuff back up.
It's odd that they're opening up and the parks aren't even open, though.
Yeah. I was just going to ask you because I know you've been there quite often. Are the resorts engaging enough to want to stay there without the parks being open?
Well, here's the thing. I think California, Grand Californian, for a short stay could be enjoyable enough. Because to me, any DVC resort is I could go to and spend 3-4 days there and no problem, just stay at the resort with the pools and everything. But the problem is for the Grand Californian, because it opens up right into downtown Disney, and there are certain parts of downtown Disney that have been open, but very little. That's the problem. And none of the restaurants are going to be open at the Grand California. Now, they are, though, going to be opening up their pool and the 2 whirlpool spas. The Mariposa pool will be open at reduced capacity. The water slides will be closed. I won't be doing any pool parties. The fitness center is going to be opened at reduced capacity. And then my understanding was that I believe some parts of the spa would be available for some spa treatments. Now, I wasn't able to verify that before I came on, but I read it somewhere, but I wasn't able to verify from another source. Usually I don't go to Facebook and, to the special page on Facebook of Disney bus drivers to get all my information.
Well, there you go. They're expanding the monorail.
I see what you did there, Brad.
Those of you that are Disney fans, you get it. So the rest of you just play along till you figure it out.
Trust us.
I see where it says the cabanas are also open.
Yeah.
Do you think are those just a nicety right now, or are those a necessity right now, do you think?
I think, I don't know. What do you think, Tim? I think that's pretty much.
I saw that somebody had asked about the boardwalk cabanas as well. And Beach Club cabanas, I think. And if they were open, and somebody said yes, and they're well worth the money. And I was just curious, because if they're limiting capacity, are they I don't know.
I don't think you'll be
They're nice.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I don't think they're going to need them out. I don't think all the DVC rooms will be filled up. They'll be that crowded.
Yeah.
And they're limiting the number of people that can come out to the pool. So It sounds like they're actually controlling that, maybe even beyond that. So I don't think there'll be enough people. So it really comes down to what is your personal comfort level.
Sure.
For some people, it's like, I'm renting me a cabana. I don't want to get anybody inside my little bubble.
You might be able to look at it, that day and decide, I don't know, they might have availability for cabanas, and, as soon as you get to the pool, you might not have to reserve.
Oh, I bet they are. I would think so.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Now,
to be able to run.
Forgive me for being a newbie to the Grand California, but what, can you refresh my memory, Brad? What are the restaurants there at Grand California?
So you got the Napa Rose. That's the really nice restaurant. That's the Victoria and Albert's baby. If Victoria and Albert's had a baby, not quite that fancy and that broken in, but it's very nice. The head chef is what's that guy's name? Hunnell or whatever, the guy that their Michelin star chef.
Oh, okay.
Scott Hunnell.
Yeah.
And I believe our own Joe Quattrochi ate at Navarro's and I
Didn't
think
like
he was underwhelmed.
Yeah, he was. He didn't like it.
Yeah.
I've been there. I've never had a bad experience there. And they've got a thing there where you can dine in the chef's table, and they have a bench where you sit and you watch them cook. That one was really cool.
That sounds like time out, Brad.
Yeah. It was fun, and you could interact with the people as they were working. If you didn't bug them too much because they're working, but they would actually interact with you. You said, "Well, that's interesting. What's that?" And then they would talk to you about how they made it and stuff while they're actually doing the food. And,
That's very cool.
But really high-end food. So they have that, and then they have Storytellers Cafe.
Joe Quattrochi, by the way.
What's that? What about Joe?
Incredible reviews in spite of Joe Quattrochi.
Hey, every good restaurant has somebody that had a bad experience. And even Joe has said, maybe
that's absolutely true.
Give it another try. But then they have Storytellers Cafe. That one is, if I remember right, that was actually a buffet or breakfast buffet.
Oh.
They had a character breakfast there, but it was unique, like forest characters.
Interesting.
The two chipmunks and.
Here's a raccoon. He will forest through your plate.
Yeah, just about, so kind of different, but it was good food there. But all of those are closed. None of the bars. There's 2 or 3 really nice bar areas there. Their lobby is stunning. I mean, it is as much as you may love the Wilderness Lodge lobby.
Okay.
It's along that lines, but a little bit more. I think the Wilderness gives you a little bit. This is my opinion. I think it gives you a little bit more of a rustic feel.
Okay.
Right? It's Wilderness that has the water running through it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a little bit more of that, a little bit more woods, whereas the Grand Californian is a little more grand. It's like the wealthy person's, hunting lodge.
Oh, neat. Okay.
So the bar.
I did not know that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. A little bit more elegant, kind of a little more, that feel.
Okay.
In the lobby.
And my guess is when they open decorated for the holidays.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh. Yep.
I can't wait for the pictures.
Yeah, they have a giant lobby, just like all of the other ones in Florida. So they can put the big giant tree in the middle, and they do that and have done it in the past. So hopefully they'll do it this year. So
very cool. All right.
Excellent.
Well, I think for people who are really jonesing for even just a taste of Disney, this is a welcome announcement. I think I know I went to Hilton Head a few years ago, and it had been probably 6 months since I had been to Disney at the time, which to me sounds like such a long time. But now,
you got to seek out professional help after 6 months.
I went to Hilton Head, and I remember being there and thinking, it's not Disney, but it feels like Disney. And there was just I don't know, I can't explain it. There was just the Disney, pallor on it, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And it fed a need. And I think that's, I wish them all the best. I hope that this is very successful for them, because I know a lot of people in California really are jonesing.
So right now in California, they'll have that. Like I said, I don't remember exactly where it's at now with Downtown Disney. I know the restaurants can serve outdoors, but I don't think they can serve indoors. I don't know if any of the shops are open. If they are, it's a limited basis. Oh yeah, they are. The shops, some of the shops are open downtown. Then they opened up unless you've been there, Tim, you haven't been out there yet either, have you?
No.
Okay, so how do I describe this for people when see where I'm pointing right here on this map?
Yep.
My finger right here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, see it?
Oh, that's amazing.
Disneyland has its main entrance, and straight across the big area there is the entrance into California Adventure.
Yes.
So they face each other.
Correct.
Now, if you were to walk over to the gates to go into California Adventure, if you turn left, then you walk out to where the bus stops are, and you walk out onto Harbor Boulevard, where you can stay in the less expensive non-Disney hotels. So that's where they are, right?
Mm-hmm. Crazy how close they are.
Yeah, they're right there. I mean, You can stay in Best Western Park Place, and you're closer to the parks than you are at Disneyland Hotel.
Wow.
I'm also going to guess you don't pay typical Best Western prices.
No, but they're definitely you don't pay Disney prices either. So hey, you got a lot of room in there to work. But well, and they're not bad,
man, my friend.
they're not super high. They're good, but good luck getting one. There's three
okay.
right there. Literally, you do the crosswalk across Harbor from where the street where the buses pull in, and you walk right into your hotel. It's literally right there. There's a
wow.
Tony's right there. McDonald's right there, but anyway, I'm getting way off. So if you turn left, you're going out to that before you get out there. You're actually on the right-hand side. You're walking past the section of California Adventures that's behind a fence. Well, there's a workers' entrance that on rare occasions they'll open up that entrance. It's pretty big, but it's not really open to the public. Well, if you've read anything about how they were opening up the shops for people to shop in back in the area for Disneyland, that's where you go in. So you literally turn left, you walk down this fence, and all of a sudden there's an opening. And so they had that open for a little while and opened up a shop to try to get more sales. And a friend of mine's been in there, said that was really cool. It was a fun experience. And you're in the back area where the Marvel area is getting built and stuff. So it's kind of cool. You're walking by some of the rides to get to where the shopping is. So it's kind of cool. So that's open. And then they're going to open up Buena Vista Street inside California Adventures where you can dine outside and shop. And that's your Disneyland experience right now. Downtown Disney, California Adventure, Buena Vista Street, inside California Adventure, and then the little shopping spot they opened up. So,
wow.
Huh. I'm interested to see how many people decide to go.
Yeah, I am too. So I'll definitely keep you guys up when she gets back from her trip. She's already supposed to let me know how it all went. So
yeah, I'm anxious to hear. It'll be exciting.
Yes. Well, I will continue our stories with something
good news.
Yay!
It's the most wonderful. Oh, wait, no, that's not correct either. It's the time of year when we see DVC proposed dues for the next year, which in this case is 2021. And I think we can all agree that we hope it's better than 2020.
Yes.
Great. Because 2021 will see dues increases of 3 to 6%. Annual dues cover the operating costs of the resort, as you know, employees, park transportation, housekeeping, utilities, etc., as well as property taxes and some allocation for long-term repairs and upgrades. As usual, the lowest increases will be for owners of resorts being actively marketed by DVC. So Copper Creek Villas and the Cabins, Disney's Riviera Resort and Alani, Disney Vacation Club Villas. DVC's larger than normal ownership in these partially sold locations leaves Disney paying a significant portion of the budget, even after owners' contributions. And apparently they don't like that. DVC dues have been steadily rising in recent years as a result of union contracts designed to bring employee wages up to $15 per hour minimum. Most expense categories include some element of cast member wages, especially areas like housekeeping, administration, and the front desk. In the past, DVC executives have stated that 75% of resort operating costs go to employee wages, benefits, and taxes. I have to say, I was shocked by this number, and maybe that's just my own naivete. Brad, did that surprise you at all?
Well, yes and no.
Okay.
Because here's the two things. First off, just so people understand, the negotiated plan that Disney has with the DVC dues, the reason it talks about the employee wages, each year they're got an automatic bump built in, so that I think it's within 2 or 3 years from now they will be at $15 an hour. So that's an automatic increase that we're going to face every year. It's a percentage number. and it's going to happen every year until they hit that number. But a lot of us, there was a lot of speculation, right, Rebecca, that, well, they fired all the employees. They didn't have to maintain the room. So what's going to happen to our dues? Because they didn't spend a lot of money on the wages. They didn't. Well, truth is, they were still keeping people kind of on, some people on the payroll, but a lot of those people were furloughed, which basically meant, as far as I understand, I don't know that they were all getting a paycheck every week, were they?
I do not know. So I don't
know. But I think that's where a lot of people thought. You would think, obviously, the cost, if this is 75%, I promise you didn't spend as much this year in wages as you have in years past.
Yeah.
Because we still pay the dues. But then you get into the conversation of how much of those costs were propped up by cash sale rooms.
Okay.
Which there's been none of those to prop it up. So It's just our dues. And how much of that is people that they were still keeping on a limited salary or whatever. But here's the thing. There's no way to quantify how much less it's going to cost. And I know a lot of people were out there saying it's probably going to, it may drop. And I was one of the ones saying, it's not going to. It's just not going to. They've got
driver of the car.
I'm sorry. It's going to go up. Now, I'm just glad it didn't go up because 3 to 6 is kind of where it's been pretty much every year.
So it's interesting because the article said 3 to 6, but I just for complete transparency, I am noticing Hilton Head actually, judging the chart that I'm looking at, actually went up a little over 9.5%.
Yeah. Almost 10%. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it was the biggest, and followed by Alani being the very smallest, which was only at 0.2%, 0.3, almost 0.27. So that 3 to 6 range was a little misleading in that there were a couple of outliers in there.
And I can tell you, just having followed that in years past, that's kind of normal because when they talk about percentages and the numbers, for whatever reason, they usually they exclude the non-park.
Oh, interesting.
That are at the beach. They don't. I mean, they'll show you the numbers here, but they don't. Yes, it's like they don't even count them. But it's because they're really not
historically the one that is the highest.
Yeah. Hilton Head and because the what most people have said, it seems like over the years, is because hurricane comes through, destruction, insurance covers a lot, doesn't cover it all. Somebody's going to make up the cost of the repairs. It's just a different process for those off-site properties where they're different. But I'm not an expert at it, so folks, just consider I got this information from the Facebook page I discussed.
So as an owner, can I ask you a question? Can I put you on the spot and ask you a question?
Sure, go ahead.
Are you more comfortable, I guess not more comfortable, but are you more comfortable with the increase in dues, knowing that a lot of that goes to employee wages, than if you knew that, say, it just went to property taxes?
And I'm glad. The answer to that is absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I would rather, in fact, that was a thing. I don't remember if it was this podcast or another one that I'm on that we talked about that back a few months ago, was what if the rates stay the same? Would you be okay with that? And I remember saying, as long as I know that they're not firing people, I'll pay the 3 to 6%.
Yeah. I tend to agree with that. I mean,
keep them employed. Now, when they started laying off tens of thousands, which I get it, that's when it starts to rub the other way, going, okay, you're starting to push the hair the wrong direction on the cat's back.
There you go.
Keep you that direction.
Agreed. So I guess the takeaway from this is, if you own an Alani, you're probably celebrating. If you own a Hilton Head, you're probably I don't know, beating your head against a wall somewhere.
And if you own it, Hilton Head, you're probably used to this, unfortunately.
Yeah, you know what? You probably knew if you did any kind of research, you probably knew what you were getting to. As for the on-property resorts, the lowest one on property, I believe, was Riviera this year at 0.9%.
Right. And those, once again, if you look at them, Riviera 0.9, Copper Creek Villas 1.92, so 2.27. Of course, Aulani, that's a whole other deal.
Now, I noticed in the article it says that the lowest ones are the ones that they're still actively selling. Is that to make it more attractive to possible buyers, or is that just because they're new?
And this is, once again, Disney is not going to tell us.
But based on your experience,
Yeah. The educated guess is this. It's a little bit of that. And
Okay.
it's also, keep in mind, Riviera has not, they have not released all the rooms yet. Remember, they release them in blocks.
Okay. Yeah.
And so then this base is built off of, well, there's only, 30 rooms available right now. There's only a 30% of the facility available.
I love it when I learn new things. Because I don't think I've ever factored that in, but that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, if you only got 20% of the rooms that you have, 75% of your cost is people taking care of those rooms.
Yeah.
Then you've got, 80% less cost going up. But once it gets fully opened up and it's 100% out there, then now I got to have all those rooms taken care of, and so your costs go up.
Right.
Okay. One more dumb question before we move on.
You take this one, Tim.
Before we move on to the next. So I'm just going to randomly pick a DVC resort. I'm going to pick Boardwalk Villas because I'm oddly a little sad that they got rid of the clown. I don't know why. Hated him, terrified me, but it was a little sad to see him gone. So in this case, it went from the 2020 dues were $7.36 to 2021 dues are $7.81. Is that per point that you own at that resort?
Correct.
Okay.
So if you have 100 points, you'll owe $781.26.
Wow. First of all, kudos on your math skills.
Way to move that decimal point, Brad.
Move that decimal point. That's why I picked 100 points.
I know.
Listen, my bar is short.
117 points.
My bar is very low these days for him being a Okay, so you would owe $781 a year if you owned 100 points at Boardwalk Villas.
Yep. So see, I own 50 points at Animal Kingdom. It's $8.02.
You own $401.
You're good at math.
Excellent. Okay, that's interesting because I don't think I ever broke it down that granularly, so that's interesting to know. All right.
Yeah, that works.
And what's next, Brad?
Oh, Brad.
We'll just move on to a new story then. Enough of that. Okay, so now we actually copied this straight from the DVC website. So
Yes.
I'll just
Plagiarism is a beautiful thing.
We'll build it from there. So, as part of our continued efforts to provide flexibility during these uncertain times, we modified our temporary policies regarding expiring points. April, June, August, September, and October 2019 use year points that are set to expire in 2020, which would have been mine if I hadn't used them all up, that were used for reservations during the closure period have been extended for 1 year from the current expiration date. So in other words, it was going to, if I have October use year, so mine would have expired October 1st, 2020. Now my 2019 points would expire October 1st, 2021.
Okay.
Additionally, the ones from 2018, which is interesting, April, June, August, September, and October, that were banked into 2019. So these were points that would have probably expired, so somebody banked them to save them into 2019. And then those points were used for these reservations. They will expire November 30th, 2020.
Ooh.
This is the important point right here. This temporary policy only includes expiring points that were used to book a stay arriving between March 12th and the end of the closure period, and that involve a reservation canceled after February 29th. So here's the tricky thing. If you've got points sitting in your 2019 year and you either use them to book a room and it's been canceled, or they're still sitting there. They don't expire until 2021, unless those points that are sitting there were actually banked from the year before, which normally you would lose. They are holding fast to that, it looks like. So they're letting it go till November 30th. So let's say you had some in June, you did get a few months extra to use those points. But see, like my October points, I would have had basically 2 months to use those points. And I would have to be using them like right now.
Right. Book fast.
Yeah. So sad for those that have banked points. There could be some points there, but at least that's the way I'm reading it. Does that seem like that's what it's saying to you?
It does to me. Of course, I don't know much, but yes, it does make sense. What you're saying makes a lot of sense.
It does. There are lots of words and punctuation marks and things in there that's...
And it's Disney, so they kind of always make sure they get their money.
Right. So there's that.
I do have to kind of go back and look now because, see, for me, what kept happening to me was I had stuff booked, got canceled, points went back in, but they were all kind of put together. They were points from, and so I never knew anymore which came from which year. They're all just sitting there. And then it got used for the next one, and then that one got canceled. And so now my latest one, I was supposed to go to Aulani in December, and we had to cancel that one. Now we're booked to Aulani in February. Now I need to go back and I'm pretty sure since I'm already booked, I'm okay.
Okay.
But if for some reason that got canceled, then some of those points were borrowed points that were being moved forward and be able to be used. Now maybe I can't use them. Maybe they're going to disappear on me. And then I'm going to be very sad. Actually, but I'm just trying to be nice. It's a family show.
Right. I appreciate that.
Get me a voodoo doll or somebody from high up in DVC right now.
Let's get him on the phone.
I don't know how to put me.
A strongly worded letter.
Yes. I will mention one more thing for all the DVC owners out there. The one policy part that was in there on points has remained the same, and that is you can still borrow points to do if you're going to book a reservation from the next year, but temporarily you can only borrow up to 50% of your future use year. So because they got so many past points they got to eliminate. They're trying to slow people down from bringing points in the future back into now. That makes sense. It just makes the glut even worse on how many points are out there. So like if you've got a 100-point contract, you can only borrow 50 from 2021 back into 2020 right now to book a reservation in 2020.
Got it. Because there's going to be so many people trying to get in next year.
Exactly. Because now all these people are trying to get rid of all those points that letting them stack up. So they're slowing it down a little bit. So.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
So.
Okay.
Oh, well, I don't know about that. I'm tired now and I'm hungry.
I'm always hungry. I'm always hungry.
Hey guys, why don't we just skip the food thing? I'd rather hear about the rumors because I'm going to have to wrap it up relatively soon. Does that sound all right?
Okay, wait. Do we want to hear about the rumors or are we going to talk about food?
I'd rather talk about the rumors because that's kind of a little more timely than the food.
Yeah.
All right, fair. Well, maybe we'll talk about food either, but my answer is definitely Liberty Tree House. Okay.
Brad, quickly, what was your favorite food?
What is your favorite Thanksgiving food? Where would you get? Oh, Thanksgiving meal in Disney World? Duh. Where you just said.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to give two honorable mentions. One is 50s Primetime, and one is Whispering Canyon Cafe, only because all of my Thanksgivings are always loud and raucous and full of family and silliness, and those two places are amazing for both of those.
If that was at Disneyland, I would do the Disneyland Hotel Thanksgiving feast that they do. That thing, it's very expensive, but it is unbelievable.
Okay.
I'll throw in the Yachtsman Steakhouse because there's nothing wrong with the steak on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Tim.
Oh, I know I'm not wrong.
It's like turkey to me.
I know when I'm wrong. In that case, I'm not wrong.
I have a secret.
Okay. Psst, got a rumor.
Psst, I heard a rumor.
Oh my gosh, what?
I love rumors.
I don't know if you heard this.
Is this a banana rumor?
Trojan. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know if you've heard, but actually at Magic Kingdom the other night, they actually set off fireworks after hours.
Oh.
There is a rumor going around that fireworks might possibly be returning to the Magic Kingdom. What do you think, Brad? Yes or no?
Game.
My favorite food at Thanksgiving is tequila. I just forgot to say that, and I felt like I needed to.
Yeah. Are they coming back? Of course they're coming back, but not anytime soon. There's other sites that are talking about it. They did do it, and it did happen. But the problem with fireworks in Magic Kingdom and anything at Magic Kingdom in a nighttime show like that is because we're just not out of this yet, folks. And so no matter where we go, no matter how much the governor says you can open up 100%, Disney is not going to they've proven that they're not willing to just open up the floodgates and have people herd like cattle again because of the risk that would happen. So they're going to keep working towards some safe distancing and encouraging for healthy, procedures and, the masks and things. How do you ever safe distance and watch a fireworks show at Magic Kingdom? There's just no way. I know one site said, well, maybe they're testing it to see what it looks like from different parts of the park. Well, I can tell you, I've seen it from other parts of the park, and it's not worth going over to the watch. So everybody's going to pile in.
Yes.
Where it's good to watch. So, yeah. But I will give you an intriguing thought. If we were going to start a rumor and anybody wanted to listen to our rumor, the one I think makes sense, if they were going to open up another show, would be Epcot.
Ooh, because of space.
Yeah, because even with the new show they were doing, it was still designed in such a way that you could enjoy it 360.
Mm-hmm.
Perimeter.
So all the way around the lake, they could maybe, and plus, right, they got limited occupancy right now too. So it's not like the park is packed to full limits. It's still limited. So you reduce the number of people that could even be there to watch, and now you've been able to do it at 360. So I don't think it'll happen. I wish I could hope enough for that. But.
Yeah.
Wish upon a star, my friend. Wish upon a star.
But
still fun to think about, and something to be hopeful for in the upcoming year, right? I think we have a long road ahead of us before we get there. But it's nice to hear them, at least keeping the home fires burning, so to speak.
And listen, for those of you that are, had your holiday trip and you're going out this year, because I actually have a client who's going out, literally getting there the day before Christmas Eve and leaving on the 1st.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Like, dude, is there any way in the world I was doing everything. He just said, listen, this is it. They canceled their trip, I think twice actually. And so he's like, this is it. And we've got to go to Disney. I don't care.
We got to go.
I said, I got you covered. But for those of you that are still going, let me give you a little bit of hope that yes, right now the nighttime shows are gone, the parades are gone, but they have just recently restarted up the Tree of Life Awakening. Mm-hmm. So the light show, that's an amazing experience at Animal Kingdom for that kind of that nighttime nightcap there. They're doing the projections on the castle again. Not the full show part, but where their music and everything, but they're actually doing projections on the castle. And they're doing projections on Tower of Terror in Hollywood Studios. So they're trying.
Yeah. Because those are entertaining, but even if they were to do, because I heard a rumor that maybe they were going to do like small random fireworks displays around the Magic Kingdom. Yeah. But the thing about fireworks is people lose their minds and they'll all run to the same place to see the fireworks. It's like moth to flames, kind of almost.
That's a good way to put it, Tim. People lose their
minds. Plus, keep in mind, we are talking about Magic Kingdom. So there are sections of the park that what happens when fireworks start? They get closed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's say you're in the wrong part of the park. Suddenly they start going off over your head. You got people having heart attacks and freaking out.
You got bottlenecks where people are getting close and people want to leave.
Exactly. And there's a guy laying on there, struggling for air, and then people all crowding around him going, can somebody open me up? No, we're watching the show.
But he's taking up space.
Guys, we need to wrap this show up.
Yeah, we definitely have to wrap up after that. So,
but we're going to have a couple good DVC roundtables in December. We already talked about them somewhat, so they're going to be very entertaining. So I would look forward to that.
Yes.
Wait.
Yes. Rebecca, where can somebody find you if they would like to talk to you, meet with you, take you out to dinner?
Like I said, Liberty Tree Tavern is never a bad idea. Although I do miss the characters there. But if you just want to chat, come find me on Twitter at Tequila Becca.
Awesome. And you, Brad?
And I'm at Papa Mouse 1 on Twitter, Papa Mouse 101 at hotmail.com if you want to reach out, and hanging out at the Resort Loop Facebook where I get all my information, not from the bus driver.
Heck yeah, you do.
Love that Looper Nation Live.
Oh, it's fantastic. Sir. Love everybody over there. Everybody, I'm Tim Scott, Facebook, Twitter, the website, ResortLoop.com. Love doing the DVC Roundtable. Everyone go out there, please go out there and share the gateway to the magic. Take us out.
See you, everybody.
Vacation memories will stay with you and your family for a lifetime. The Resort Loop Travel Group was created with this in mind. Our fee-free services will relieve you of the stress and confusion of finding and booking the best vacation at the best price. After booking, we will continue to monitor for ways to save you even more on your vacation. We will check for any upcoming packages and discounts to save you as many vacation dollars as possible. Resort Loop Travel Group, gateway to your magical vacation memories. Get a quote, or for more information, visit ResortLoopTravelGroup.com. Everyone go out there, please go out there and share the gateway to the magic. Take us out.
See you, everybody.
That sounded good. That was good.
That was fun.
It took 6 years. It's fantastic.